Is sound working on the stream? Can you hear me right now? Okay. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me on YouTube. Oh, Julian drops. There he is. I don't have a cam today. I'll go buy one next week or some shit. You're the only rich one of us, Mike. You don't know that? Did you not click the link? Can you post it, Julian? I can't find it. I would have to leave the dashboard. Yeah, for sure. Alright. How does that work? Yeah? Hello? Yeah. Alright, I'm off of push to talk, so there we go. Oh man, I hope it doesn't double pick me up. Oops. What up, people? Oh man, I hope that audio is not too delayed. Oh man, I hope that audio is not too delayed. Okay, sounds good. How's everybody going? First podcast going in. Akalades Family. Hopefully we get a few people in here. All right, so where do we want to start? Let's start with Sunday night into Monday, huh, Mike? Well, what were you guys looking at on Monday? Yeah, I'll just run through the stocks. If you want me to pull something up, I can throw it up on the screen. I think Spy crushed everybody this week. I don't know anybody that made money on that shit. Yes, sir. Yeah, let's move into Tuesday then, because that's when we started making some money, right? Like what do we have on that day? We had HX pop on that day. We had FTEK pop on that day. DBIG went off for a little bit. Tell me some more. Oh, let's just pull it up then if you need me to. 20, 25, 27. Looks like pre-market. What? Oh no. Oh man. So we've been sitting here in silence. You guys been listening to my voice. Oh man, you guys gotta. Oh man. Oh no. We're gonna have to start all over. Give me 1 second. I'll fix all this. All right. Can you guys? Can they hear you guys now? Say something, Mike. Someone tell me in chat. I'm gonna be upset. Oh no. Hold on. I'll get this. I'll get it right now. Hold on. All right. Maybe that'll work.
Do you guys hear me now?
Yo, yo, yo.
I'll get it right now. Hold on. All right. Maybe that'll work.
Do you guys hear me now?
Yo, yo, yo.
I'm waiting. It's backed up.
Oh yeah, I think I heard you guys. Maybe that'll work.
Yep. Yeah, I hear it.
Okay. Oh,
It's still
all right.
on my end.
Maybe that'll work.
Oh, there we go. All right, we're good now. All righty.
Okay.
Back on. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. We got it figured out. So we'll bring it back around. We started Monday off, was real slow. I know, the past 2 months have been pretty slow. The market's been on a pullback. We had a little correction action going on. The only thing that's been real hot was the SPY options. We were killing it on the SPY options for a hot minute. And then we just hit that brick wall this past week. I know we were talking about it, but no one could hear us. Where pretty much we were all just donating our money to the market.
Yeah. Market makers said, yeah, we don't want to give you guys in the money calls anymore. So
Yeah.
GG.
They were like, "Yeah, thanks for making all this money. Now it's time to give it back." But Then the week picked up. I know we were talking about HX. You pulled it up. We got into HX on Tuesday, 7:20 ish. And that thing just went parabolic. We hit 25. You said $25.
Yeah, but 25 in pre-market like the next day. But I think a lot of us dumped it somewhere in that 18 range, like right here at the end of the day on what was that, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, we all got out before 18. No one expected it to go over 18. Had heavy resistance there. I know Bookworm in the Discord was saying 18 was a solid resistance level. I actually ended up going short on that 18 mark and scale. I was scaling in short.
I was actually just
But
about to ask you about that because
yep.
it blew you away a little bit at first, right?
Yeah, I thought I was getting squeezed out, but then the next morning I woke up. I know it was up a little bit pre-market, and then it just completely sold off, like just tanked. So that was a solid short. So we rode it both ways. That was a fun one for sure.
Yeah, I
How you
was.
doing? I know you were messing with the options this week a lot.
Hey Mike, someone said in chat that your mic is low.
I got it. I can fix it. Say
Yeah,
something, Mike.
Yo, can you hear me better now?
Oh, let's go with that.
Sorry, everybody. It's the first week we're running it. We're running through some technical difficulties, getting it fixed up. We'll be good. Be all gravy.
What up, EWG? Good to see some members in the chat.
Oh, we got some people on here. Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, Julian, how'd your options go? I saw you alert Netflix a few times, right?
Yeah, our options team was eating last week. Netflix, we played puts on earnings. So, before earnings release, Netflix did, but when they did release earnings, they beat estimates, but they sold off. But then in the pre-market, everything just rallied back up. So we did get our implied volatility definitely got hurt. So I know some of us took puts again into close, and we woke up with, we were down 70-80%. And then Netflix did rally the end of this week, and it did make a new all-time high. We did.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did you catch calls on the other end, or just rode the puts on the earnings?
Yeah, I just rode the puts. We did play Affirm, and so Affirm made a new all-time high last week. And it's also testing that range, that 160 range again. It tested it on Friday. It broke through for a minute, but it got a slight rejection. It's consolidating into a little bit of a flag. And then we did play AMD calls. We did puts and calls, and we did coin as well. So we did hit a lot on the options.
Nice. That's good to hear. Yeah, we got all aspects going now. I remember it wasn't too long ago where it was pretty much just a couple of us in here, and now it's just flourishing. We got Luna in here alerting all sorts of cryptos. We got Wonder hitting us with a 1,500% play this week. I mean, it was just a crazy week.
Yeah, I was
So
just
we got
happy. I was just happy with the watch list that me and Julian keep pumping out. Like
Yeah,
DBIG off of it
fire.
pops, so did Adder, and
Yeah.
BBIG has just been tanking. But like, yeah, it is what it is with that. People got to figure that play out. Uh, but then
yeah, that one's
yeah,
left a lot of people holding the bag.
yeah, and then we had a Wednesday. HX came back in a flurry, right, from $10, and popped
Yep.
on up. Uh,
Yeah.
what were we looking at that day, and what caught us on surprise?
So we got HX. HX ran again. That was a multi-day runner. HX really had ran from 77 cents. It was just on like a tear. It was we slept on that play early, real early. If we would have gotten in, if we would have seen that thing a little bit earlier, that was a monster. Just multi-day runner. And HX hit again on Wednesday. There we ended up hopping in around 10:20 ish. That thing went to 25. We said it went to about tapped out at 25 is like 140%. We hit PHCF too slapped for us. We hit PHCF for 230 to 329 for near 50% gain. We had a solid week. I mean, this past 2 months have been so brutal. Like, if you've been trading, the beginning of the year, January market was so hot. Even February was so hot. And then we just got slapped from like March until, we had a couple, in June, it was a little hot, not too hot. We had a couple flurries at good times, but the past 2, 3 months have just been absolutely like, it's so difficult, especially for the newer trader that comes just coming into the market. They came in August, or even July, like that. That was not the market to come joining in on. So if you made it through those months as a new trader, man, kudos to you. Not many did. I'm sure there was a lot of people that donated their, first initial investment and said, "Fuck this, I'm done with trading." Because
Yeah,
it was not easy. So
I
we got
know.
blessed.
Yeah, we did get like this last 2 months. Yeah, it's been crazy. One of the things I did want to talk about over the last 2 months kind of came up, and we wouldn't be doing a disservice to everybody if we didn't talk about it. Is Prague. It has surprised the hell. Just like CEI, has this been just going off all these penny stocks and penny season? Like how are you guys
Yeah.
feeling about penny season? Is it coming to a close? What's going on with it?
What do you think, Julian? You want to go first on that? I got some stuff to say about penny season.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say a little bit about that. As far as trading goes, I haven't been able to experience many years of the stock market. I just started back in January, but I know in January, February, pretty much any penny stock you bought went up, 20, 30%. So you
Yeah,
could be the dumbest dude alive and buy anything and it go up 20, 30%.
easily.
Did see that March correction where it did knock some bulls into reality, saying, this is not normal. This is not, what's, normally supposed to happen. And then we saw it pick up a little bit again, and then we're also seeing it kind of pick up now. I do think, just as far as I'm concerned, like as the experience that I've had, I feel like it may die down and we may go into a bear market, but that's just me, kind of just predicting what's going to happen just from SPY shooting back to all-time highs while we have all these current issues. So I can't really say too much about it, but I think the penny stock is going to the volatility is definitely going to die down.
You think it's dying down? I think we'll see until. So I know with all of the negative catalysts in the world that we've got today, I know that debt ceiling got raised and we've got until about December. So my prediction on the market right now, pennies included, is we've got at least a couple months of high volatility, high pumps. I think we're going to see a lot of just squeezes out of nowhere, like we saw this past week, and that's usually the market overheating. And when that market overheats, December comes around, I think we're going to see a serious pullback. But pennies are hot right now. We've rode a couple of them. We rode FAMI right twice. We got FAMI for 100% first time. We got it for a couple percent next time. We shorted FAMI for like 50% one time. Prague, we got in Prague at dollar 10ish. I know numbers and heat in the Discord had convinced me, because to be honest with you, Prague, it's not the most fundamentally sound company. But if it's running hot, and you guys got conviction on it, me, I'm all about it. So I jumped in on Prague around $1.10, and it paid me off handsomely. And that thing is still going. PED too, good. Ape Nation PED was another one too, that an oil stock that ran for us. We rode PED a couple times around. But yeah, the pennies have been hot. CEI, like I was doubting CEI at 66 cents when me and Julian were scalping it. Me and Julian were hitting it for fucking
Dude, we went 62
10,000
like
shares scalps at 66 cents, and the thing goes to $5 almost. I
Jesus.
almost shit
Yeah,
myself when I seen that.
we all were like, I just remember in Discord, CEI hits $1, and we're like, here's where we short it, right? Like, no fucking way, no way it goes any higher. This is where we start. Like, it's going down. Then it hits $1.50. We're all like, what the fuck is going on? Then it hit $2, and then we're like, don't chase it up here, guys. Don't chase it up here. But the hype's real. And then it hits 250. and then 3, and then we're like, what is going on? And Prague is looking to do, some of the same things. That's why we're in the midst of towards the top of it, I think. Some people were asking me about it in Discord, and I was like, well, if it breaks 350, it could pull a CEI up to 5, but um, you know, you're trying to chase. I feel at that point, but that hey, your own prerogative there, right?
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but I
Yeah, I
mean,
feel the same way about it too. Like the whole ride up, I was so skeptical to hop on it after on CEI. I'm talking about because it was up, from my original, entry, like that almost 500%. Even with like this past week with PHUN, like I got in at $1.55, and when it was at pre-market at like $6, who wants to touch something up 400% in the pre-market?
right,
That's especially after what we just went through, 2 months of what we just went through, 3 months of what we just went through, 450%, you're thinking short, like that's going down. And it just rocketed all the way up to 25.
yeah.
But yeah,
Then
CEI baffled me. CEI was a complete baffling. That is a scam company. Like
let's be
they were on
careful.
the news that they were scamming people, and it still went up the next day.
So I mean, and so I know for a fact Julian was feeling fucking great on Wednesday. And we were talking, and then we were hashing out our watch list for Thursday. And if you had any of these stocks that we made bank on through the day trades on your watch list, good for you. But I don't think anybody saw coming on Thursday what we saw. I mean, DWAC. We haven't seen a 600% runner in months, almost all year, right?
God, man, what a play, bro. Wonder came through for us for sure on Thursday morning. I know I woke up a little late, and that thing was already at like 11, $12, and I had DM'd him, and he was like, "No, it's still a buy." And market open hit, that volume hit it, and I jumped in right around, I believe it was about 15-20. I got in on that thing, and I sold it at $31, $32, because I got 100% gain. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna
Yep.
hold it. And that thing just kept going. It didn't stop.
Yeah,
That
and
thing did not stop.
Wonder had it. Yeah, what at like $10 he had ordered, and I know a lot of people on the Discord just jumped on it, and I think some people rode it all damn day and into the
Oh, they
next day,
did.
right?
Oh, they did. Yeah, there's Garcia, Grace, baby or Snipe Junior Grace. He had jumped in on Wonders Alert. He rode that sucker all day long. He sold it. I think he got like 300-400% on it. I know Wonder held it all the way until $170 ish. He got about 1,500% on that play. He told me it was his biggest play in a very long time. That wasn't an OTC.
Yeah, that was just crazy. And then PHUN right behind it, right?
Yep.
I
Foon
don't.
came
Julian,
right
did you
behind
hop
it.
in on PHUN?
Phone or fun?
PHUN, whatever you want to call it. The one that made all the money.
PHUN. Yeah, the one that
Yeah.
made everybody rich.
So Thursday and Friday, I was trying to sell my car to this dude working with a bank. So unfortunately, I didn't get to trade the last 2 days of the week.
Oh, he's out.
Oh
He's out
man.
trading
I
real
was I
commodities.
was so
Jeez.
I hit him up and he let me know how much he made. I was like, man, like if I would have just traded Friday, not even Thursday,
You didn't
Right.
even need a trade Thursday all week. You didn't even need a trade. Just Friday, really.
Yeah, I mean, because we also had Duo ran, which was another one of Wonder's,
Wins, yeah.
Chinese swing companies that it ran up 25%. And talking to Wonder, he sounds like it might still keep going. Like it hasn't come down yet, that's for sure. But
DW
say
It's
again,
Duo.
Duo,
Duo.
yeah.
DUO.
Duo, yeah.
But
Duo is a good swing. I'm still in that one.
I know like on a lot of these recaps, I mean we're on Thursday now, and I think I've seen one miscalculated trade each day, which that was astounding to me, like that we
I know,
managed
yeah.
to do that.
So yeah,
Uh,
that's another thing about our home here, Accolades, is as we'll always talk about the losers. That's what makes us better. Going over the losers. I used to run a class, or I still technically do. But we're kind of switching it over to the podcast. And what we were doing the first couple classes is we'd go over the losers of the week, and we'd figure out where we went wrong. So you always see on the recaps the losers we had. And this past week we've had maybe 1, 2 on the worst day. On miscalculated trades. I mean, not all of them go 1,500%, 250%. Some of them only go 5, 6%. But if it's keen, if you use that stop loss, man, and you follow your trades up with the stop loss, any stock that goes green on you, you're not going to lose on. I try to preach this a lot, and I know a lot of people don't have the over 25K, can't trade unlimited, and you want that big gain every day trade, but it's not going to be a big gain every day trade. Sometimes you're going to have to take 5%, and 5% is a solid gain. You'd get 5% in 10 minutes, that's people don't usually get 5% in 10 minutes, so you follow that stop loss up. I use the stop loss still. Like, I use a physical stop loss, and I follow my trades up. It goes up 5%, I move it to break even. Goes up another 5%, I move it up 5%. I follow my trade up with it. This way I ensure gains every time.
Yeah, I mean, that's really smart to talk about. And when you want to put gains into perception, one of the things I do is I say, well, if I were to go down to the bank and put my money in the bank, regardless of what I put it into, like if I put it in a market fund account, right, the max I'm getting is what, 5% on the year?
Maybe,
So
yeah,
so 5% in a minute, 10 minutes, pretty good.
Yeah.
If I'm putting it in a savings account, I'm looking at maybe 1%. So yeah, I mean,
not even. I think it's like 0.5 or 0.4.
yeah, they keep. Depends on who you go to, but yeah.
Yeah, it depends where you go.
But yeah, I
But
mean,
you
like,
get your point for sure. 5% is for
it's huge in
blessing.
financials. Yeah, exactly. And then when you start compounding, and that's like the one thing people never think about is I got $100, I made 5%, that's $5. Well, if I make another 5% on my $105, now I'm at 115, right? 112 and a half, whatever it is. Yeah, right. And that compounds so fast that people just don't realize it day in and day out until they start doing it. And I've had some conversations around that with some people, but hopefully we all figure it out. But then let's move into like the big banger day of off of Thursday.
Yeah, I wanted to actually finish a little bit on
Yeah,
Thursday here. So we had PHUN was next up after DWAC. I know DWAC. Some people took profits Thursday. Some people held to Friday. If you held to Friday, man, God bless you. You got balls of steel. But then we got into PHUN, which was in the after hours. I found PHUN on a dip. It flushed into close, and I grabbed $1.55. And I wasn't even watching it really. I took it and I came back and I was up like 40-45%. Took profit on it, and then it just kept going. And then the next day it just kept going and just going and just going. And then we went into JRJC as well. We hit for about 33%, which was a nice little gain. And then Duo, like you were saying, his swing was $1.15 we got in, and it's still holding up. But yeah, Thursday was the start of it. It just actually really Wednesday when HX hit kind of heated the market up. Tuesday, Wednesday heated the market up. Thursday, Friday finished off with just absolute bangers all day long.
yeah, and
Now,
that's not even to talk about SALM, right?
oh yeah,
Because
there you go.
you played that a few times.
So SALM was a good one. It was actually a sympathy to DWAC and PHUN. DWAC went up off of Trump's media corporation that he made is going to be a social media platform that he's trying to get in the works. So DWAC, I believe it was just a rumor, right? Or was it sound news that they are definitely partnered with Trump's corporation, media corporation? Do we know this?
I saw inklings of it going both ways, but even if you're part of Trump's media corporation, right? If you saw the Trump news on his new social media platform, it's just been hacked since it went up. So I can't believe it's good news. But
that too. As soon as the stock started running, I seen they were posting how I was getting hacked, and it still kept going. But yeah, some had some kind of connection to Trump. I seen it quick on my scanner that it has a connection with Trump, the news that popped on it. It was it was fluff news that popped on SALM, and I grabbed it the first day around 365, or actually first time I scalped it got like 7%. Then I grabbed the flush, ran up 22%, and I remember I was talking to a couple people, and everyone had doubts that SALM would even go again the next day, and SALM was an absolute banger for me. That set the tone to my Friday. I grabbed SALM pre-market, and it's ended up snapping what, almost 80%, 60%, 60%, yeah, 59%. That was what started me off on Friday, and I held full on that one because I had a long chat with Wonder. Thursday night we were DMing, and I was like, how do you hold these things all the way up? Because he was holding DWAC. I was like, I don't have the balls to do it, and I missed out on these giant gains like DWAC. If I would have held, I wouldn't even need to trade all week next week. I could just kick my feet up, go on vacation, but I just don't got the balls to hold them like that. So I was talking to him, and he gave me a couple strategies and ideas and some things to to take into account, and I started doing that on Friday, and lucky for me, Friday was just absolute hit.
Yeah, and then so speaking of Friday, I peeped one of the stocks. The one thing I did want to say about Thursday was, um, and was DWAC managed to run up that whole way, and it never halted.
Yeah, it did. You're right. It never halted till Friday.
It didn't
And if
halt
you
till
look at the
Friday.
15-minute chart, it didn't put in a single red candle on the whole run.
Yeah, and then come PHUN or FUN, however you want to say it. It halted numerous times.
Oh yeah, they
It's
were
almost
halted
like,
all day.
I don't want to sound too much like an ape, but it's almost like the SEC took Thursday off and decided Friday they should put in extra work because they weren't around on Thursday. You know what I mean?
Oh
Uh,
shit. Yeah, so yeah, fun. That was I mean, I tried to, I know everybody got the FOMO in the group here. People are buying in up 500, 600%. There was a couple. I know I got DM'd by one person that actually held the entry that I had given into the next day, and that I was like, wow, you've got kahunas.
oh,
Yeah, that thing halted up. It halted up like 5, 6 times, 4 or 5 times, and then it halted down from $18 to like $7. And I was screaming in the chat, scale out every halt. You put an order in under the bid, and you get filled at the lowest point. Even if you're getting filled at the lowest point, you're already up 200%, bro. Like take some profit on the way up. That's what you move the stop
yeah,
loss up, take some profit. But with the halts, your stop loss won't get hit. So if it goes from 18 to 7 out of a halt, you're not going to get stopped out. That's why you need to be scaling out on the way up. Like by the time it was in that, 15, 18, 24 range, you should already have been all profits left in your position. Like you should have just had profits riding. That's it. There's no way you should be full position at that point.
man, man, I just want to give a huge shout to Luna. Why we've been sitting here doing the podcast, I think she's already alerted 2 swings, and then one right before the podcast for the cryptos. Like she is just putting in work.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, since Luna's came on, I've been my portfolio on my Coinbase Pro account and the Pancake Swap. I've been killing it following her along. I
yeah,
got in on Matic with her. I got in on AMP with her. I got in on what was another one I got in with her on? I got in on a lot of them that
yeah,
she's alerted.
and and this close out to Thursday, I was really skeptical of the markets because I remember late last week into this week we were talking about neuro, which
Yeah,
did not pan out for any of us really. I think I popped out with like 3% gains,
yeah, that
or
stinks.
mostly break even. Yeah,
Yeah,
we were hoping it would run into earnings, and then just nothing happened,
yeah,
and so
crickets.
I was like, man, this is going to be a terrible week. Fast forward from there to Thursday, Wednesday, and then Thursday happened, like we said, and then moving into Friday. Uh, let's start with
Yeah,
BE
so this
BENE.
yeah this recap here, man. this speaks volumes to like what we've gone through the past 2 months, and like you don't quit, you just keep coming, and then it comes, that day comes, that life-changing day like Friday. If you traded with us on Friday, and you had money and you could trade, we had one trade that was in the pre-market that went red. Every other trade was either quick, we had a couple quick scalps, but we had just 30% plus on the day trades. We hit BENE. I know, Julian didn't really get to trade with us, so he might not have, as much to talk about on these trades, but, you could see the charts and see, how fire it was. We had BENE from 1050, so Milo Poe actually hit me up on that one. He's one of the guys on the Discord. He DM'd me. He was like, BENE, I'm grabbing warrants, I'm grabbing shares. They've got the same CEO. BENE's got the same CEO as DWAC, and it hasn't been hit yet. It's a sympathy that hasn't been hit, and this is like towards the second half of the session. And we've already ran all the other sympathies pretty much dry at this point. And the market seemed to slow down. Like going into lunch and after lunch, it was kind of flat.
So you,
PHUN. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So I just want to stop you for a second because you've said sympathy or sympathy play like a few times. What is a sympathy play? How do you find it? Like what do you identify as a sympathy play in your mind?
So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. So sympathy is going to be like they like either a stock it'll catch some kind of noise from the main runner. So there'll be a main runner like DWAC or PHUN, right? You can kind of debate on which one was the main runner, and then anything connected to that stock in any sort of way could be clarified or could be classified as a sympathy. So you've got BENE and PHUN were connected, or not BENE and PHUN, DWAC and PHUN were connected, right? So they both had Trump's name on it, so they both ran. Then you've got Mark, which was just a media corporation. I don't know the ties that it had, but it was another sympathy that ran. So it'll be anything really in that sector could go off. And I know PHUN was a sympathy to DWAC, and then it turned into its own runner. If you look at the charts, they're almost identical, PHUN and DWAC. And then we've got BENE, who had the same CEO as DWAC, so that would have made it a sympathy play because it had a connection. And it was one that hasn't been hit yet, which means it hasn't been played yet. Nobody had jumped on it yet. It wasn't running. There's very little volume. It was at $10.50 when I got in, and the warrants that I grabbed were at like $1.58, $1.60, something like that. And then it just shot. I know it pulled back first. And everybody, I was a little scared in there that what got into the play. They were like, "Oh, it dropped 10 cents already," and then seconds later it halted up. So that would be considered sale. SALM had a Trump name attached to it. That was a sympathy play to DWAC and PHUN. Pretty much
Okay.
cons also was another sympathy. SGBX was classified as a sympathy too. So with DWAC running, anything with Trump's name on it pretty much went.
Okay. So then
Yeah.
Friday happened, BENE, Psalm, all the same runners, even Groom, which we have played numerous times, along with we didn't even talk about Pult. That
Yeah.
the Discord is we've milked those things dry.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But looking into next week now, I mean we got about 20-ish minutes left. What are we looking at next week? Julian, you still around? I know you didn't trade much on Thursday, Friday, but what are you looking at for next week since you missed out on all the good stuff?
Um, yeah, I did miss out on a lot of good stuff on Friday. I do think some of those stocks will see some bounce plays, regardless of what they're trading at now. I think PHUN, I know it is. I think, Mike, you said it was in a head and shoulders on the daily.
No,
But
not on the daily. Not on the daily. It's on the. I was actually looking on intraday. So daily is just a
on
big
Friday, yeah, the 15-minute.
15
All
candle.
right.
So if you look at the 15, yep, you'll see it had a little bit of a head and shoulders, and then pulled back down, and it's starting to form a shoulder. You look at the 5 as well. The 5 minute, you'll see it a little bit slightly, but it's a small head and shoulders. It could break out of it. I mean, Monday's a fresh week. Could easily break out of it.
Yeah, I think as far as next week goes, I'm really just kind of searching for what pops on Monday, and then kind of just with that information, go from there. I know I was looking at some Chinese tickers, YVR, which saw a pop on Friday, about 18%. See if that shows continuation. And our waiter swing is seeing some higher lows, so that is very good for that stock. But right now, I really have nothing on the watch list. I'm definitely going to do some DD later tonight and put up our our daily watch list. But yeah, what about you, Mike?
So going into next week, I've got a couple that I'm looking at. China as well. I'm super long on China right now, and I know it's weird for me to say because I've been preaching, not too long ago about how bearish I was on China. But China's gotten beaten down. It's been all time lows on a lot of the charts. And they're starting to see pops. You got Duo popped a bit. We had HX's China popped a bit. We had what was the other one? EEIQ we rode that one too, as well as a swing from like $4 to 10. So we're starting to see China heat up. I think that we're in that China sector rotation. I know Trump kind of took over the market on Thursday and Friday, but to be honest, unless they've got more PR coming out, I know a lot of bag holders are holding these stocks, BENE, DWAC, PHUN, and they want to see it run, and they're going to post all sorts of stuff to fit their agenda. If it gets volume, I'm in there. I'm a day trader. I scalp. I'll take the trade. But if it's anything like the close and after hours was Friday, I think we see them fade. I shorted fund from 750 ish to $6 was a nice short in after hours. I also I got SGBX on my watch list. I like SGBX. BENE, I know I got to do some some DD on BENE because a lot of people in Discord have been chattering on BENE, and I've seen it all over all socials. But if it's sympathy to DWAC and fun tank, I'm probably not going to touch it. SALM again as well would be on my watch list. These ones that ran but didn't go like fun and DWAC are going to be on my watch list, but that all depends on whether or not they run. If they don't run, I got GROM on my GROM on my watch list. Palt's been good to me. I've been trading the range on it. I got a $7 entry. It pops pretty much to 8 daily, 8 to 8.11. I've been trading the range on it. It's been paying me pretty nicely. I've been swinging it, waiting for that big run. I've got Mark as well would be on their comms. I know Mark's got a shelf offering though, so I'm going to be very careful with whether or not I trade that. Just because it's got a shelf offering, which an offering means they could dilute the stock at any time. So if they drop an offering, stock's up 150%. If they drop an offering, I wouldn't be too fun if you're an investor. Let me see. I seen another one as well. Let me pull it up on my account here. I seen it. I marked it.
Okay.
Give me 1
So
second here. Oh, here it is. INPX, another one I'm looking at. It's a penny that started going. 114 mil float, had some unusual volume Friday. Made a move from 76 to $1.05, and now it's flagging real nice. So I like INPX as well.
okay, let's all right. Well, that's what we're kind of looking at for next week. I'm sure you'll see the watch lists on the Discord as you guys, flood in, take a peek. I know on my watch list, I had to get up some motivation to do mine on what was it like Thursday or Friday, and I said if this doesn't get 15 emojis from people, I'm not doing another one because I don't know if anybody ever even looks at them. Come to find out, everybody looks at them.
That's what I was saying too. Remember, I was messaging you. I was like, "Yo, I never get any emojis on my watch list. I'm about to just cut the watch list out." You guys fuel us. You know what I mean? Like the profit shots. The emojis on the recaps. Like the recaps take a lot of my time out. I take about an hour to an hour and a half at nighttime going over the recap. And the watch list too. Hit us with your favorite emojis. If you're not in the Discord and you're listening to the podcast, we're going to drop the link under this video. Hop in the Discord. It's free. We've got, friendly community, growing strong. We day trade, swing trade, options, crypto. We've got our crypto shot caller, our crypto queen in here. So you definitely hit that link. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's let's go ahead and let's take some questions. We got some that are flowing in on the Discord, and then if I see any in the YouTube channel, grab them. But someone said, what about oil stocks? And I know we're coming out of hurricane season, so we're not, looking at those anymore. But what are you looking at going into winter? What's in season now?
Yeah, so Julian, you go first on that on the oil.
So oil is not my strong suit, so I really, don't have too much to say about that. So
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I'm to be honest with you, I also haven't, this Ped and what was it, YTT I've traded a couple times. Oil usually in the wintertime it goes up, so the stocks will get a little bit of a hit. But I think they've already made their moves. CEI made its move, Ped made its move a couple times. I think it might get another pop, and that's about it. These oil stocks kind of made their moves. They can't really go. I know with current um, the current House and the presidency right now, they're trying to lean more towards all electric, EV, solar, green. They're trying to move to green. So I think that oil, it's going to just start to slowly fade eventually. We might
Yeah.
into winter get a nice run up, and then it's going to start to fade. I think because we got at least the minimum 3 more years of who's in office and all that, and that's what their main goal is to go green. So we follow the market. We don't follow politics. The market's going green. We're finding the green stocks. That's
Yeah, and
that's just how it is.
it's crazy because like that is their prerogative to go green, but at the same time they're on the phone with OPEC trying to boost oil reserves so we can buy more here in the U.S. So, I mean, oil stocks could be a great play. If barrels of crude keep going up like they have been, I know I keep following it because anybody that was in the stock market a couple months ago definitely played Torchlight, and I have
Yep.
the shares sitting there waiting for that to get paid out. And as crude oil goes up, so does that land value. So I'm just sitting here praying, hoping for $30, but it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I played Torchlight. There was a lot of hype around that one a couple of months back. Everyone looking for that divvy. Now I know, like you just said, a lot of people have been stuck in that. Same with BBIG. I feel like it just left people crippled. With that dividend. I know you
Yeah.
yourself didn't get crippled. You waited and got that flush at 5.
Yeah, I lucked
That
out.
Yeah, that was the spot. If you're gonna get that divvy, was to get it at. But I seen it get some volume after hours Friday and had a nice little pop, flagged out a little bit into the after hours. So that's another one I'll add to my watch list as well as BBIG.
Yeah,
Sold off on the closing of the divvy, but now it's starting to pop a bit.
yeah, it's supposed to have news coming out on a weekly basis with the new CEO Lisa King in charge. I'm Anybody that's been in the Discord knows I'm huge into BBIG. I started playing it back at $5 and I ran it up to 12, and then I got back in at 8 and lost a little bit, yada yada. And then somehow managed to get back in at 505, sold again at 9. I've done the whole gambit, and then we were watching it the other night when the news came out in the 8K filing that the CEO was stepping down and moving over to Zash, which is another subsidiary of BBIG, and Lisa King was coming in. Well, this was all in their presentation deck. It wasn't new news to anybody, so it didn't scare me at all. But when I watched that stock drop 30% in 2 minutes, yeah, I definitely bought. Yeah, well, yeah, sub $6. Yeah, it'll go back.
You hate that though when they do that stuff. Like it's something that
Yeah.
over and then they drop it as news and then it just
Well,
like they just did that with Sheeb. So I'm super bullish on Shiba, which is a crypto right now.
yeah,
They just recently burnt some coins, so they lessened the float. I've just been loading that sucker. I'm holding that for the long term. And some dude tweeted to Elon Musk, yo, dude, you in?
yeah, the unusual whales. Yeah,
Yeah, and he said no, and it just dropped from like 44 or 0.000044 to 0.000036 or 32. I was like, motherfucker, this guy needs to just not tweet.
yeah, right, yeah.
It's like just news that you know.
Well,
And then it just
yeah, it's news that we knew, and then like the Zash CEO Ted Farnsworth, I call him, Farnworth or whatever his last name actually is, but he comes on Bazinga during market hours and says, "Oops, our bad. We should have released a statement with it during hours." Well, no kidding, man. Now you guys just look like a bunch of fucking idiots. And then you just watch the stock like midday just tank another 20% because he says, "Oops, my bad."
Yeah.
I'm just like, and I don't know if they, we talk about short manipulation and all this other stuff, and big hedge funds and market makers getting their price when they want to get it. And speaking of which, another question came in around halts, uh, and people are saying, that's just to let big money get out alive, right? That's for them to react to their position of a drastic move, and that's all it really is. And in all reality, the SEC does all of the halting. But what at this point in the market, after like a year of these, we'll call them random halts at times. What do you think about them, Mike? Like, do you think the SEC is starting to, do it a little weird? Are they doing it more or less than what they used to? Because you've been around for a bit, right?
So, so the halting had always been, it's, at least since technology has advanced to, where retailer traders can trade on their own and, have their own broker log in and buy and sell. It's just an overheating, like the circuits overheat and they halt the stock. It happens, sometimes will happen. What I think is messed up is when they halt it longer than they're supposed to. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to only be like, was it 5 or 15
Yeah,
minutes?
5 or 15. If you're going to go longer than 15, then it's just supposed to be a suspension, and suspensions are only supposed to happen when news comes out around the stock that will affect the price drastically, like an FDA approval or denial, things like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
suspensions are a completely different thing. I know
So
we
yeah,
played one of
suspensions.
those not too long ago.
Good touch on that. Suspension's different from a halt. You got news pending and a stock suspended. It's not a halt. It's a suspension. But yes, halts, they happen. This is why with PHUN, I was preaching freaking from the altar on Friday to scale out each halt. When it halts, you put in a bid under the bid level and it'll fill at the bottom of the candle and you sell some of your position and you scale out on the way up. Otherwise, you end up in that candle where it goes from 18 to 7 and then you're like, oh, it's manipulation, blah 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 blah, and it's like, yeah, but this is what the market is, man. Like, we can't beat them, so
Yeah,
just you got to trade smart. Don't just cry manipulation. If I cried manipulation every time I got stuck in a halt and couldn't get out, I would never progress. You need to progress and beat that. So
you mean
in
like
order to beat that,
HLBZ?
yeah, like HLBZ or FCUV did it, and it halted all the way up to 30 something dollars. We rode that thing. I couldn't even get out. I ended up getting out at the top because I couldn't get out on the way up. I tried to get out 3 different times, and then at the top, I was able to sell.
Yeah,
But it happens. Halting happens. We know it happens. It happened with AMC, GME. This is what happens. The stocks are going to halt when the circuit breakers overheat. And we just, I seen a funny meme on Twitter, and it was like a picture of Nancy Pelosi on the phone, and she does a lot of insider trading, and her husband's gotten a lot of trouble for insider trading, and she's just worth billions of dollars because of trading. She's actually a pretty good trader, like besides all the funny, but she knows what she's doing when it comes to the market. And it was a picture of her on the phone, and it was like, I just got into the Trump stock. You can unhalt it now. And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo. I
Yeah.
was like, yo, this is funny.
Yeah, I think, and I don't want to point too many fingers at anything though, but I think retail traders is a big reason why we see more holds now than we used to in the past, especially with Robinhood getting as big as it is, because the main catalyst of Robinhood is placing market price orders. And when market price orders start running up too high from something like that, that's when we get our halts, right? Because all of a sudden, someone, like if you never halted, you got a stock that hits that's like $1, and then someone has a sell order in for $100 because some ape is being funny, and you happen to break through that ceiling of the of the range, and all of a sudden 100 is the next buy, and then someone from Robinhood could randomly accidentally buy your $100 stock or your dollar stock at $100 a share. So I mean, holds they're essential, but we do see them a lot. I think we see them more than we used to because of retail trading being as prevalent as it is, especially during COVID.
100%. I mean, the retail volume that has come in the past year, it's quadrupled, if not 10x the amount that it was before COVID hit. People are dumping their stimmies in, and that's definitely causing a lot more halting. The volatility is a lot higher. We might, if the newer trader that just came in 2 months ago, might not have understood why it halted like that. But if you were around during the AMC and GME crave, and the what was the other one that went? Was it Kodak, when Kodak fucking shot up?
BlackBerry,
BlackBerry,
Nokia.
all these squeezes. They halt them to slow us down essentially, but it does, the circuit breaker overheats is what it's supposed to be. That's the technical terms. But yeah, we've 100% seen way more halting this year than years past.
Yeah, I think some of that could be doing with a lot of the SEC updating their own infrastructure too, right? Like with all the new laws that they're putting in, they're starting to automate like even margin calls on big banks, right? I think that's a huge success for retail traders to monitor them on an intra-daily basis for margin calls.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that. I think that I know retail's still a little pissed off about AMC, and they think that nothing's really happening, but there's a lot of stuff that's happened in the past 6 months, 9 months that has kind of put a little bit more limits on what the banks can do.
Yeah. So
What's up
I mean,
here, Julian? What are you thinking?
Julian messaged me that he's a little busy. Um, I don't know how much everybody knows, but he's having some construction done and they knocked down the wrong wall and he's getting blown up about it. So I just told him we would carry him the rest of the way through, just chill. So he's on the phone in another room, I think. But that being said, I mean, we're right at our hour mark. I know we had some technical difficulties at the beginning. One of the things I did want to try and get out was do like a lightning type round around stocks that you guys in the chat or on Discord have been looking at recently. Maybe you posted in trade ideas, but maybe we haven't looked at it or responded to it. Maybe you saw something over the weekend you liked. Just throw it in chat, or we'll give it like 5 minutes. We'll throw it in chat, and we'll go through some of them in either the Discord or the YouTube, and I'll keep an eye on it. And me and Mike will talk about whatever stock you guys post. I'll bring it up here on the Weeble. We'll look at it for a minute and tell you what we think, and then move on to the next one, like a little lightning round. Like, yeah, we think it's a good idea. We think it's a bad idea. But I mean, I'll preference all this with saying we don't have crystal balls, even though you guys joke about it in chat. We don't know what the stock's going to do. This isn't financial advice. It's just what we think in our opinions. Always got a disclaimer that whether we like to or not. But not for long, right, Mike?
I forgot to say that this the beginning. Yeah, this is none of this that we do here is financial advice. Just ideas that we share with each other. We work together. If you're not in the Discord, once again, you hit that link, you'll join us. The disclaimer is always the same. This ain't financial advice. We're just here to help and to spread our experience. And pretty much help the new guy, and hopefully in return, when you guys grow in your trading, you'll help the new guy that comes through the door here at Akalades Trading.
All right, first one on the docket. Someone said Amazon earnings this week. What do we think? What's going to happen? I'll throw it up on the hourly here so people can see kind of what we're talking about.
Looking at Amazon?
Yeah.
So I can tell you without even looking at the chart what's going to happen to Amazon's earnings. So Amazon's in the S&P, right? It's in the it's the Nasdaq. So
yep.
Amazon's going to pop, right, on earnings. Oh wow, look at the freaking 5-minute chart. It's already tanked.
Yeah, I'm looking at the hour one right now, right, and it tanked all day Friday.
Why did it tank?
Probably earning expectations, if I were to guess. I don't know. I'd have to look into it.
they'll crush the earnings. But you know what we've been seeing is a lot of these big tech and all these giant companies, Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Netflix, they're going to have great earnings reports, best they've ever had, record earnings, EPS going to be record, everything's going to be breaking records. And you're going to see a slight pop, and then you're going to see it drop even harder, just because they're so overvalued. It's happened the past 2 quarters with these monster floats, techs, all these. Yeah, look at this market caps, 1.46 trillion. Like it's so
Yeah,
massive. It'll pop and drop. It's what happens every single earnings, at least this past year, with Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, all
yeah.
the big massive floats. They're overvalued because of the pumps that we've gotten in 2020 with and 2021 with zero pullback.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think one of two things always happens during earnings. Either you see a massive buying beforehand, and then when earnings hits, you see the sell off, and it's a buy the rumor, sell the news type situation, where you just see it tank at earnings, and that's why we don't hold into earnings a lot of times on catalysts. And then the other way to go is what we thought might happen with Neuro, where the earnings kind of fly under the radar, earnings hit, and everybody is aware of it now, and people buy it. Um, Typically, though, dipping before earnings, that's a tough call. If you want to, I mean, Amazon's so expensive, I wouldn't play it anyways. But if you
Yeah,
are going to play it, this
I
dip
agree.
looks like a good call.
So yeah, I agree as well. The dip does look like it could be a good call into earnings. The earnings date is on 10/28 at 2021, so you got 4 days. I just there's better places to put your money, in my opinion. Amazon, you could make a killing on the calls. But look at the options. Just look at the spread on them. You've got, 107.8. You've got far out of the money. Options are even expensive. It's just not really worth it, in my opinion, to play Amazon for these calls are $11,000. You've got Jesus Christ. What's out of the
Yeah,
money? Let me go way out of the money. Let's say we did November 2021.
that's.
Let's
I'm looking
say
at November 19th.
let's say you did 390, right? 390. You've got $5,800 or excuse me, $6,275 for the call. Like, it sounds good. You
Yeah,
might make a couple bucks, but if you've got money, you've got big money. Go for it. But if you're working with a small or medium account, I think you got better spots to put your money. There's so many opportunities in the market every day. Look at our recap on Friday. It was just phenomenal. If we see volatility like Friday on Monday, you can make double what you'll make on those calls, just trading equities with that $6,000.
all right. Next one on the docket. Uh, ELP. Someone said they've
ELP,
spent all weekend looking at it. Uh, let's take a
Copel.
peek at this one. Copel one
We're
one
looking at
hour.
Copel. So I'm looking at the daily right now on Copel. The daily's kind of ugly. It looks like it hit a 514 support area. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like
514 to
almost.
515 support area.
Yeah, it looks like the dip on the last day got bought up pretty well. Could be a decent buying wick.
Yeah, you got a hammer.
Yeah,
It tends to be the sign of a reversal. I would like to see it reverse on the daily before I took a position. Like, I would like to at least see a green candle, like a shooting star candle, or not a shooting star, morning star candle on the daily tomorrow. But if it catches volume, I'll definitely take a look at this stock more in depth. If you look at the 5 minute, it got bought up a little bit.
yeah,
Got a little double bottom there, a little Wu Tang action there with the W. Um, you know, it, this if it catches volume, it could go. It's just it's hard to tell with this daily here for me. Float's a little bit bigger than I like to play, 277 million. I like more lower floats. You guys know I like small float, low float stocks, so it's a little bit bigger, but it could be a grinder back up. What sent this down? Do we know?
yeah. I was actually just gonna look at the news even on here. I don't know. Does anybody in
Uh,
chat know?
ex-dividend.
Ex-dividend.
Happens every
Okay.
time. So this could get bought up now that it's tanked from the ex-dividend. You know, it was almost a month ago that the ex-dividend hit. Also, it's
Yeah.
an oil stock, I think, too.
Okay. So we
Yeah.
could be looking at oil. We could be looking at a possible gap up on the daily. What scares me about it is it's so close on the daily to just popping right back up to that 540, 550 area. And if it gets back to that, I would start thinking more about it. But I would definitely, I would like to see a green day confirmation before I personally touched it. Unless you're trying to get in dirt cheap on a small lotto amount of shares, like if you want to take like 100 shares or something.
Yeah, if you're gonna lotto it, something you've done some DD. You've got conviction on it. If there's a catalyst coming, I just haven't done any DD to put behind this chart right now. If I'm just looking at it on a technical
Yeah.
side, it's still bearish until I see that confirmation candle. But it does have some gaps now. It's got a gap up here at the 635 top of the gap, or 640-ish top of the gap. So it does have a nice gap to fill, which could be nice. But if you look at the TTM squeeze, you look at the MFI is on the curl down. You got the MACDs wide open red on the daily. I need to see a confirmation candle before I touch it.
Yeah, it's coming off a low. Person that recommended in the chat said Lee Ray. He said it was a 29% divvy. It's coming off a year low. It's already been dispersed, so it's not like people are waiting around for their money. Because we have seen that in the past where they put in they put in a divvy and then it gets pushed or it doesn't get dispersed right away, and then everybody says, "Screw this company, I'm out." But it sounds like all that went good. But yeah, I would have to do some DD. This is definitely one I'm going to be looking at this week. So don't mind me if I might hit the favorite button here in a second, to just throw it on my watch list. And then the last one, I think someone said BBIG. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up my baby.
We'll pull up BBI here. So I know somebody also from the Discord wanted us to go over TMC as well.
Yeah. TMC we played. I think a lot of people are still holding it, right?
Yeah, we're swinging.
And so
we're swinging. I'm trying to find where you're seeing comments on
the
YouTube.
Discord. Yeah, it's on the main page. I've got it.
Is Lee Ray in the Discord?
I don't know if Lee Ray's in the Discord. Lee Ray, who are you in the Discord?
Lee Ray, why don't, if you're not in the Discord, hop in there. We got the link in there. Pop in with us. We can go over some more. And
I would assume it probably is.
Yeah, maybe. I seen somebody sent me a picture of the comments, but I can't seem to find them. It looks like we got Lee Ray. Robin, a big popping asshole. What the fuck?
That's probably Heat Missile. He likes his divvies.
I think it is Heat Missile. You know what? It's definitely Heat Missile. So we'll definitely be looking at that more. We're gonna look at BBIG next, and then we'll look at TMC, and then we'll close it up.
Yeah. Oh wait. We're gonna pass on BBIG. I'll tell you right now, BBIG is flagging. It could break up on good news next week. Lisa's in charge now. There's supposed to be news rolling out every week. We could see the bottom at 5. There's a huge support at 477. So I would try to get a dip.
I'm seeing massive support right in the 470s to 490s. So I don't expect it to go much lower than that. It's held that pretty consistently here.
Yeah. So let's talk. Let's just talk TMC. And someone actually texted me.
Someone wants us to look at Mark.
Mark and someone actually said OYST to me. I don't know if you've been playing that swing out or not in our Discord. But let's just pop a TMC. We'll pop Mark, and I'll DM the person that texts me about OYST.
So we'll go over TMC. So TMC, I know it hit a new low again. This thing has been beaten down. It got caught. Man, TMC.
This poor stock, man.
Yeah, it's just been smacked, man. So, I remember it was at $10 not too long ago, and we traded it. It got pumped pretty hard, by a lot of the big discords. They tried pumping it, and when that happens, they usually get short attacked. It gets targeted, and it's just been on a complete downtrend. I saw that it started to put in a little bit of a reversal. It looked like. But I guess it was more so just a bounce, and it bounced off of this 320, 330 area, bounced up, over $4 one day hit, and now we're sitting around 336. I think that this thing's been beaten down so much it's due for a run. It's probably got. I can't tell you right now. I'd have to confirm, but the short float on it's probably massive. It's probably got a lot of shorts on it.
Yeah,
I can't see it going much lower than this, but it is bearish on all except for the MACD. The daily on the MACD just diverged green. We've got the MFI curled up a bit, but it's not fully curled up, and the TTM squeeze is starting to go from red to start to squeeze down to green. But it needs volume. It needs a green volume, buying volume. Last what was it, Friday? It had 4 million in volume. It's a 400 or 126 million float. It needs a lot more volume than 4 million.
yeah, and I can't see a 70% decrease from 10 to 3. I can't see there being, if there are a bunch of shorts in here, I don't see much more room for them to profit anymore. So I would
Yeah.
assume they would start covering soon. I mean,
They
there's no
can't
sense
take
in
it to
holding.
zero.
Yeah,
The company is fundamentally sound, so it's not going to go to zero. I can tell you that much. So they should be looking to cover soon. You got a 70-something% short. That's usually the max gain you go for. When I short something, if I get 50%, I'm stoked and I'm out. But 70% is kind of crazy. If you get it, you're lucky. It's not going to go to zero, so they should start covering soon, in my opinion.
all right. Then there's Mark, who, if you look at on
Mark.
the daily, doesn't say much.
Yeah, so Mark is going to be a hard one for us to analyze. So Mark was a sympathy that actually took off kind of on its own after the rest fell. So it was originally sympathy to PHUN and DWAC. And I don't even know the connection. I can probably find it here, though. Let me see. The most recent news is the private placement of 400 and for 4,237 shares, which is pretty much our offering. So they have a shelf offering in place. So this is what makes me a little weary on Mark. Is if you're trading Mark or if you're holding Mark, definitely be ready in case they drop that offering, because it's not a matter of if, it's really a matter of when. The stock's being pumped. Maybe it gets another day of pump. It had solid volume, almost 200 million volume, 89 million float. Sucker from, what was it, dollar 40 or something like that. I exited. But yeah, they got an S3 shelf. It'll pop and then it's gonna go down. This is what Milo Poe just DM'd me. He's tuning in right now. He's been giving me the information about the shelf offering. So we're looking at a pop and then a drop is probably what's going to be happening.
Okay, and then probably something similar to OSYT, and then we'll start calling it a day. I do have one more question I want to ask you, but we'll cover OYST and then we'll just call it there, huh?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So OYST on the daily popped and then dropped. What do you make of it? Is it gonna support back out at 1070?
So it looks like you hit a key resistance level here. Right around 1530-ish, you hit that resistance and rejected, and then it pulled back. So I know I traded this not too long ago, and I believe Wonder gave the swing. How long ago did he give this swing? Is this a bio? This is a bio, right? So he gave this swing on 1020, so not too long ago. He's looking at a 12s entry. I'm looking here. So he's taking a position because he's got a wait. He put the DD in here. Waiver granted. last night. No secondary offering, fully funded, FDA approved, very high institutional ownership, and most of the free float is locked up. Has price targets of 60 plus. So, he's got high conviction in this swing. So if he's got high conviction, I'll buy blindly pretty much. I have no problem. I have no problem buying if he's got high conviction.
That man's a legend.
He's literally I met Wonder, 5-6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago now. I don't know how long ago it was. It was probably March, April, probably April, Mayish, and he took me under his wing, and he's completely changed my life, trading wise, all around. He's given me the confidence. He's taught me so much, not just trading too, just like we DM pretty much every day. He's a solid friend. Got my back, I got his, and he's taught me so much. That man's given me so much money, so many opportunities. He's been putting money in my pocket since the day I met him. So if he's got a high conviction trade, high conviction swing, I'm in. So it's down a little bit from his entry. I wouldn't worry too much. I think it's bottomed here. I think it might double bottom. I don't think it's going much lower than this. This is a pretty solid support area, as it looks like. It did have some selling volume the past couple trading days, but a lot of swings got slapped. So you got to remember, this wasn't like these dips that you're seeing on these low flow swings that we've got were because people were selling their positions off to chase the runners. So we saw a lot of selling. Like my poor Alfie got slaughtered on Friday. Paul got took too. It pulled back hard. We had all of our swings got clapped. Like my portfolio was crying because of the swings that got clapped. So I would just hold tight on maybe average down if you can a little bit, unless you got a stop loss and you got your own trading plan in place. Obviously follow your plan, but I think Oyster will see a nice run soon. It's a solid company, fundamentally sound. Wonder's got high conviction. I know he's still in the swing. I'm not in it currently, but I might even think to take a position right around here, right around support.
So, and then I'm gonna, you talk about your portfolio crying. I'm gonna wrap it up with this. I know we both like to we call it gamble a little bit in the old SPY in the old overall market. And I know me and you took a very similar position on Friday, and we both accidentally ended up holding it through the weekend. How you feeling about that? Where do you think it's going to end up? Do we?
Yeah, so I completely screwed myself with SPY
Same.
on Friday. So PHUN and DWAC and all these runners fucking had me so just distracted, man. And I took my SPY calls and I grabbed the wrong expo. Grabbed Monday expo when I wanted Wednesday. I got the right strike, but I got the wrong date, and I grabbed calls and I grabbed a good amount of them, and I was up too, around 35-40% when I looked at them midday, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I should take profit, but I still didn't even look at the date that I bought, and by the end of the day, I was like, well, I got till Wednesday, and I was trying to swing them to like new highs, and it did hit all time high, but I was so distracted. End of the day, I ended up down 75% on these calls, and they expo tomorrow, so I'm pretty much burnt on them. I've kind of forgotten about them now. It's lost money. SPY has paid me handsomely. It's you guys seen in the Discord. I had 1 week that I added 32% to my portfolio. I had another 14% week. While the market was pulling back and correcting, and none of the equities were running, I was just scalping and milking the hell out of SPY, and I made a killing off of it. So, if I give a little back, I ain't really too worried about it.
Yeah,
I only ever buy in SPY what I'm willing to lose. So the amount of money I put into that, I am writing it off. Like this money is gone. If I lose this money, it's gone. It's not something that can affect me, mentally, physically, emotionally, nothing at all. It's just gone money. If I win, beautiful. But if I lose, I've taken maybe 3 to 4 losses on SPY in the past 3 months, and I've traded it like 56 times. So I ain't really too worried about it.
Yeah, I did the same thing. It was like midday. I even put in a sell order at 40% at my 40% peak, and I freaking missed it, and it immediately knifed down. And yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm sitting at minus 50% right now, and I'm just like, the only way I make any money is if we like gap up $2 and then pre-market it runs another dollar. So yeah, that money's gone. But you'll live and you'll learn. But I just wanted, we talk about it all the time in Discord about how SPY is just a gamble, and like you said, you only put in what you're willing to lose because that money might not come back. But
Exactly.
I just like to touch on it because some people think it's a good get rich quick scheme, and it's just not. SPY is
No.
incredibly unpredictable, and she does what she wants. And
Yep.
I think I said in the chat to somebody, I said, you just got to sit next to her and whisper to her and some pillow talk, and maybe she'll do what you want her to do. But
Yeah.
it's a
Let's
gamble.
touch on that for 1 second. SPY is not. I'm going to repeat this. It is not a get rich quick scheme. I see a lot of people in the Discord. We had 2 solid months. If you miss those 2 solid months, now's not the time to start chasing SPY. You're gonna burn your portfolio. We had clean trades for months, and it was nice and easy. We were able to predict the way it was going every day. We were hitting it hard, milking it. It is now not as clean as it was. So if you're thinking you can just hop in, throw a couple thousand in SPY, and just get rich off of it, I'm telling you, you're gonna blow your portfolio up. Please be careful with that. It's gambling. It's not trading. We're not trading anymore. It's literally gambling. You know,
Yep.
learn
Yeah.
learn learn equities, especially for the newer with the smaller portfolios. Options in general is just not the route. Learn equities, build up your portfolio, then start learning about options. We got a great class in the recorded class section where I went over options trading and shorting. I'll post that on the YouTube as well for anybody that's not in the Discord that wants to see it on the YouTube, where we go over all the Greeks and stuff. But learn it all. Be a sponge. I went, a couple of years, 2 years in the market where I was just losing and buying and holding and buying and holding, and I finally had enough, and I just spent hours. Like you could ask my girl, my fiance. I spent hours on hours up late reading, watching podcasts 24/7, like just studying, and then find people to hang out with successful people like Wonder, Julian, Numbers, all these people. Heat seeking pig missile. I chat with him all the time. He's a successful man. I find people that I gel with that are successful, and I leech onto them, and that's how you become successful. And never quit. The only way you lose is if you quit.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, right there, I think that's a good spot to wrap it up. I think our first podcast went about as well as expected, right?
Yeah,
Thanks
I
everybody
agree.
for tuning in. We'll put down the recording and we'll put the links for everything down below. Hit that like and subscribe. We hope to see you guys back next week.
Yeah, thanks guys, and we'll be announcing next week's podcast as well. And thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the love. And let's get on this ship to the moon this week. Let's bank.
All right. Have a good weekend, guys. See you guys Monday morning.
Later.